This is a bi-coastal broadcast.
Yes, we're so happy to see you. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Mike. Hi, Hannah.
Everyone's here. Bi-coastal broadcast. You're in LA and I'm in Florida. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm just outside of Tampa. Are you ready? Here we go!
Hi, Ben.
Vegan Sunday School.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, ethically omnivore, ex-omnivore.
This channel's just for you.
Great.
This channel's just for
Vegans. So if you're not vegan,
vegans.
this is your vegans. Hello. I've been wearing this other type of sunglass because my sunglasses broke yesterday. So I bought.
Oh, no.
I had a backup that Karina's father gave to me, but my face. I don't know if you could tell, but my face is kind of shaped a little bit more like a mongoloid. Have you ever noticed I have like a mongoloid face?
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought when I saw you. Like the very first day, I was like, that's a mongoloid head.
I have a So like my eyeball and my brow are like the same. My eyeballs are like puffed out. Anyway, the point of me telling you this is that now I have this red mark across the top. This isn't really this is the bridge, like over the bridge of my nose where the sunglasses rest, and it's embarrassing.
You should be embarrassed.
I am embarrassed. I'm also embarrassed.
I am not embarrassed that I'm wearing, I hope everybody's gonna see this. I am wearing a pouch sweater.
A pouch sweater.
So it's a sweater that you can wear and then your puppy can go in the pouch. And for now, because I have a very scared dog, it's the only way that it feels safe going outside. Once we're outside, she's like walking, but the transition is hard. So she goes in the pouch and she's happy. So if you have a very scared dog like me, buy a pouch sweater. They're good.
If you could come back as any animal, what would it be?
Well, I think something that flies, so I could escape the craziness of the world and go like on a tree and be far away.
A bird? What was it?
Yeah, a bird. Something that flies. I don't know.
You want a bird?
Yeah. Well, it could be any type of bird, right? It could be a vulture. It could be
a vulture. I don't want to be a vulture.
I don't know. Any.
I think I'd rather be a sparrow than a vulture. A sparrow can see ultraviolet light. I don't know about a vulture, but a sparrow.
So you want to be a bird with superpowers.
Well, I think it's interesting that there's certain animals that can see more than we see of the world that we experience. I mean, isn't that amazing that we think that the world that we experience that's all there is?
It's
but
limited.
When a sparrow looks at a rainbow, they see an extra color that we don't see.
They do.
That's wild.
So have you seen, there is like a TED Talk, I don't remember, I think it's called New Human Senses, and it's someone at the Silicon Valley, of course, who created like a little vest that you wear, and basically what they explain is our brain, we don't know how much our brain is limited, but we know our senses are limited, right? So we can only experience the world with our eyes, and we have a limitation. Some other species have less limited eyes than we do, right? So they get more information, and all our experience of the world is the information we get. So they created a jacket that you wear and that sends you information by little impulses, right?
Okay.
So, with this jacket, for example, if you're an astronaut and you are in a
Mm.
thing, a skyrocket, rocket, you can
Mm-hmm.
just be in there and you can
A
sense
skyrocket. Yeah.
skyrocket, and you can sense that there is a problem somewhere. You can feel
Mm.
it before a computer says, "Oh, there is this,"
Like a
because
spider sense.
it's like extra senses. So they said that they were testing this jacket and they were wondering how much information the brain was actually able to get, because so far we know the brain can have this much information because that's how much information we get. But if
Yeah.
we give more information to the brain, how is this going to go for humans?
I like it.
Isn't it amazing? I
It
mean,
is.
that's
I mean, I heard that. I listened to a podcast
what.
about disabled people in space. That
Yeah.
because some people they like, for example, in space you could be working in absolute darkness, and so a blind person would be actually better at that than a sighted person, or someone who can't hear. When you're talking about the immense noise, have you ever heard the sound of the space shuttle? We think of it as quiet up there. It's not. It's extremely loud. That someone who's deaf would actually have a better way of communicating with other people on the ship. I mean, it's interesting. Anyway, also the blind people don't know up from down anyway.
Well, we've seen blind people knowing colors, like being able to draw colors and be like, yeah,
Mm.
because they feel different.
Yeah, it's weird,
And
right?
it's like for us, it seems like it's interesting because like since I was little, I was diagnosed by a doctor hypersensitive, which is like basically your senses send you a bit more information than most people, and then you get overwhelmed most of the time because information is just so much that your senses are like, ugh, a little bit.
Hmm.
But it's also interesting because you feel more certain things, so you also sure, it's creating overstimulation, but it's also interesting to be like, oh, sometimes I had to read books to be like, oh, hold on, not everybody feels that like that. Because I
Mm.
thought, because that's my way of experiencing the world. And sometimes with veganism, I've wondered that. I was like, is there something that vegans can feel that maybe other people cannot? And that's why for us, it's obvious that animals are individuals, that we
Yeah.
should have empathy. And maybe for some others, it's just not something, but it seems presumptuous. It's presumptuous, right? So I don't want to think
Mm.
that. But sometimes I'm like, would that this be a logical reason? I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but I guess if you want to come back as another animal, you want to come back because of the ability to be high up in a tree
Yes, to escape humans
to
because
escape humans.
they're
But you
crazy.
could do that as a human. You could just go out to the forest or the desert and escape humans anytime you want. Like we could go to
I've tried
Joshua Tree.
I've tried to climb on trees. I'm not really good at it.
It's the tree that really is the thing.
No, I'm joking. But yeah,
Well,
yes, you
I
mean.
saw someone said they want to be a binturong or a binturang. That's a bear cat that is I think arboreal. So I mean you could go maybe a sloth would be good. A binturong
Something that can hide deep in the seas, because it's
in the
amazing. We
seas.
we have explored the space. We have explored space way more than we have explored actual deep oceans, and there are species and things that live out there that we have no idea, but we know that there are things, and we thought that, oh, you need light to survive, but no, you don't. And so there are things out there that we don't know. They might be gigantic things,
Yeah.
very scary, but yeah.
Well, like oarfish or giant. I mean, there's lots of massive creatures down in the bottom of the sea that you know are pretty remarkable. That'd be fun to be one of those, I suppose. I think that yeah. Okay, so what animal would you absolutely not want to be?
Not want to be. I think I would not want to be a chimpanzee because I think that they do understand so much. Like, I just researched today, I did a post on Fannulous about animal
Hmm.
facts, right? And they say chimpanzees, they share 99% in
Of our
common with
DNA.
us.
Hmm.
So They understand the concept of death. They have self-awareness. They understand that they cannot communicate, but we can, like, not like us, that we speak, they don't. Like, they have so much awareness, and they see so much what's happening in the world that's effed up, right? But
Mhm.
they cannot do anything because we have all the power. And
Mm.
it must feel so, I like, I'd rather be less aware than being so aware.
Mm. And not having anything to do about it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get it.
being tested on and all of that. It's like trapped. You're trapped, right?
So a bird that could fly in the highest tree, or a fish that could swim to the bottom of the ocean,
Yes, I want to escape.
but definitely not a chimpanzee because they're too aware.
What about you?
I would be I if I could be any animal coming back, I think I would be I don't I mean, I think I would do like I think a giraffe's pretty cool.
Ah,
They're
that's pretty cool.
big, they're tall, nobody really fucks with them. Like a free giraffe, not like a zoo giraffe, you know what I mean? Like a free
Yeah.
living giraffe. Like they're vegan. I think they're pretty cool. Like they could fight. Like they're kind of scary, but they're kind of looked at as gentle giants. You know, I think that a giraffe would be pretty good, a pretty good animal for me. I think they're not completely. Nobody hates the giraffe.
No, people, and they don't attack giraffes for,
Not really.
they don't have like, what do you say, like
Tusk,
defense.
but they are hunted for their skins mostly.
Yeah. Yeah.
The people like their skin, but like the number one cause of death
Giraffe.
for giraffes is humans killing them or burning down their homes and things like that. But I mean, I think though in a perfect world, I think a giraffe would be pretty good. Someone said they wouldn't want to be a chicken. I would rather be a chicken than a lot of other animals.
Yeah.
Benji says he wouldn't want to be a chicken.
I think being a dinosaur would be really cool. I mean, if we're dreaming, right?
Yeah,
We
but you got
watch.
to come back. This is a future though, not the past.
Yeah, but in a world where I can be an animal, well,
Yeah.
why not be a dinosaur, right? Let's
Uh-huh.
dream a little bit, right?
I wouldn't want to be an egg laying animal. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do that. Oh my gosh, there's a raid.
What is that? Raid? The
A
gift.
raid from Twitch. Perhaps everyone on Twitch will be watching.
Ooh.
Look at that.
That's
On a Sunday school. You never knew that we were broadcasting to Twitch, talking about veganism, and all of these vegans on Twitch want to come by and hang out.
Oh, that's really nice. And today, if anybody wants to join us, we have a game. We want to play a game, Sky. I mean, it's not really a game. We've decided on Sundays we want to interview you, but play something fun with you.
Yes, so if anybody wants to come on, they can. And what's the game?
Yes, the game is called Random Stupid Question Interview. So
Yes.
we're going to ask you stupid questions, and the goal of the game is to answer as fast as possible. So you don't have to really the time to think of the best answer, the one that makes the most sense. It's just to be like, I'm just going to say whatever comes to my mind, right?
Mhm.
So if someone wants to be our guinea pig, if nobody wants, I'll have to do it to
Our
Sky.
test tube, because that's not a vegan. Vegans don't say guinea
Oh
pig.
yeah, you're right.
Our
Our
test
test
tube.
tube.
Mhm.
So if someone wants to be the first brave person to come, Sky can share with you the link to come to the broadcast with us,
Yes.
and we'll interview you. And if nobody wants to do it, Sky's
Vegan
yes,
Power Lab says he's in. But
yes,
before he comes in, I want to tell you what animal I would never want to come back as.
yes. Tell us.
Dog.
A tall.
I'd have to be in some lady's pouch just so I could go out like some coward. I have to be carried around like a baby my entire life.
Hey,
How
sometimes people are afraid too. It's okay to be
not grown
afraid.
ups.
Yes, grown-ups. You think I'm never afraid of anything?
You're
I'm
not.
afraid
If
all the
I know you, I don't need
time.
to put you in a pouch to bring you
Yes,
out.
sometimes Jess puts me in his arms, and that's like a little pouch.
It's like a little pouch. Jess's arms is like a pouch.
Yeah, he's like a big teddy bear, and I
And he's
can
like,
just see
"You could
his
go outside, little doggy. You could
face.
go outside. It's
I've
okay, little
needed I've
doggy."
needed to hold someone's hand sometimes to do stuff. I moved to America. I was 30 and I was scared to do everything because it was a new country, a new language,
But, like,
new everything.
okay, but knowing that you're afraid is not the same as being infantilized for your entire life. Like, dogs are treated like infants for their entire lives or entirely neglected. The two options for a dog in human society is to be treated like an infant for your entire life
Totally
or to
disagree.
be murdered. And
Totally
by the way,
disagree.
the best outcome possible for a dog is to be an infant his entire life and then be murdered by the person that loves you.
So I've watched a lot of Caesar Milan videos recently, who is the dog whisperer.
Hmm.
And actually, the goal to have a happy dog is to empower them, right? But
Hmm.
you have to also live with them and what's happened in their life. Like everybody who has had trauma cannot just one day to another be like, okay, that's it, I'm out of my thing. So if you have a traumatized dog, you have to meet them where they're at. But every day, your goal is to make them more independent and feel safe and calm, because if they don't, they go nuts, right?
Yeah, they all, but that's how would they not go nuts living in a human world where humans expect them to be therapists and expect them to act anything like anything but a dog? Like a dog is not allowed to act like a dog. Let's face it, when they act like a dog, we say bad dog. And when they act more and more like an infant human, we say good dog.
But
Uh,
what's an example?
I couldn't
What's
think of a worse animal to come back from. Like if I died and came back as a dog, I would kill myself. I would beg for the pound. I
Sky?
hate,
There's the new channel you can subscribe to.
I don't hate dogs. I just would never want to be a dog. I'd be so embarrassed to be a dog. Like
Thanks
dogs,
for sorry.
the new background was Fanny. It's all Fanny. But if
It's
I like a dog is constantly just. Have you ever looked at a dog's face? It's a look of utter embarrassment at all times. Like my ancestors were wolves, and this is what I am. I'm a dog.
what I like about you, Sky, is that you're always very passionate about any topic.
I mean,
How can you be passionate about dogs this much and what they
because
mean?
because to me it's like the fact that humanity has done this to wolves is one of the greatest crimes in the history of humanity. Like
So
it's
funny.
one of the worst things we've ever done. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We like
I mean, I'm totally against the breeding, and I think it's stupid. Not like I'm kind of happy that Faye. I mean, we didn't pick her for her breed, right? We did not care about that. But I'm kind of happy that she's not like a specific breed, because I feel like they've been bred so much that most of these dogs today must have a ton of like,
yeah, that's why they're so stupid too.
and they're,
We've
yeah,
bred them to
stupid
be
brains.
stupid
Yeah.
and
So I was like,
docile.
oh, she's gonna be a bit smarter because she has like
Mutts
no.
are smarter. You ever notice that? Like the mutts are a little bit smarter. They're a little bit more wild. I don't know.
Yeah.
They got little something extra. Look, Vegan Vance says it'd be arguably worse to be being inseminated and confined like a cow, only to be sent to a slaughterhouse, knowing and fearing your own death. Okay, but Vegan Vance, a cow only has to do that for 8 or 9 years. A dog has to endure the embarrassment of being a dog for like 15 years. Like
Are they
15.
self-aware enough to know
Look at
that
their
they're an
faces.
embarrassment
Dogs
in
know.
their faces?
Dogs know. They're like,
Well,
wait a
well,
second.
if they're around you, I'm sure their
You're like,
faces
wait a second. Yeah, they're around me. They're embarrassed.
they're
Yeah.
like, this guy, he looks at me weird.
No, like, imagine being a dog and being like, wait a second. I gotta ask this hairless ape to go outside? What the fuck? What am I doing inside? I'm a dog.
Yeah, but if they were outside all the time, they don't understand really what cars are and all. They would be at risk of being hurt, right? It's also
Mhm.
why they have a leash. It's because you want to prevent them from hurting themselves, because they're living amongst us. They're not in a
But
forest
they're
or
not
whatever. They
supposed
really-
to.
They're not supposed. I agree with you, and
But
I
see,
wish
that's what I
we
mean.
didn't
But that's
have
what I
to
mean.
adopt dogs so they're not killed in shelters. It's like
Totally. Yeah,
really
I get
sad.
that. I'm not saying that that's not I'm not on that kick about saying don't I'm not saying don't adopt. I'm saying
Poor
like
dog.
I would never want to be a dog. I would want to die if I came and I was like I can't go outside when I want.
So
I'm a
you'd better
prisoner.
die than be a dog.
I'd rather die. Yeah, if I were a dog, I'd rather die and come back as a different animal. Like, let's try again.
Okay, everybody in the comments, who would not want to be my dog and live with me? I would feed you. I would go outside with you. I play with you. I have you sleep in my bedroom, not on
Prison.
my bed,
It's
but in
still a
my bedroom.
prison.
And we have fun and we talk. I give you treats all day. Seriously, Sky, it's not a terrible life to be a dog living in a house.
That's what people say. But
What kind of dog do you sorry, this comment. What kind of dog do you have? No, no, my dog doesn't
yes,
do
they
that.
do. They eat their poop.
Fishy does this.
Oh,
She
she
like
kicks.
but she's like 2 meters away. She's just like doing
Being an
this.
animal that is a common pet is just an all expenses paid free island. Not true.
Yes,
Dogs get
yes, it's
eaten.
a
Dogs get hit by
vacation.
cars. Dogs get beaten. Dogs get thrown out to the side of the road. Dogs get put into bags and thrown off of bridges into rivers. Dogs do not have it well.
Yeah,
Dogs are.
dogs don't get to choose their owner.
That's
It's
right.
true. And maybe
Dogs are
not
one of the
their
most abused animals on earth.
I guess. We're
I
all in
mean,
a prison of some sort.
I
My mind, Sky's mind is this
we're all in a
prison.
prison. Just dogs are more in a prison. And they have to be humble all the time. Like, look at me, I'm just a dog. Always
It's ridiculous
crying,
with Sky.
always begging,
All right,
begging for
I
scraps.
say enough talking about dogs. We
Okay,
have someone who wants to be a test tube
let's do
for
it.
our
Not a test tube.
game.
Yeah, a test tube, not that other thing. Let's not get in trouble
I
here.
said a
Canceled.
test tube. You're
Don't get me canceled.
overreacting. I said a test tube. Give
That's
me
what
a
I'm saying.
break.
I don't want to get canceled. But wait, I want to bring up one more thing before we do. Sorry,
Yeah.
I know you're excited about
No,
stupid shit.
I'm here. I'm listening to you,
But I was
friend.
talking speaking of being embarrassed.
Yes.
Okay,
You
so
don't like
I
that.
was really embarrassed.
Why?
Um, because I asked Karina who's hotter,
Who's
me,
hotter?
me or Joey Carbstrong.
Why would you ask that to your girlfriend? That's already the beginning of a problem. Why
So
would you ask
here's
that?
what she said. Here's what she said. Here's what she said. She said, "You, but
Okay, I'm here for the yeah.
remember what Fanny said?" That's
Did
what she
I
said.
say something
Yes,
about Joey
yes.
Armstrong?
About me.
About you? I said something about you physically?
She said, remember what Fanny said? That
Eh,
you don't know your angles when you take photographs. And so all your photographs are ugly. She said, you're way hotter than Joey Armstrong, but
but not in
all your
photos.
photographs are ugly.
Oh, I mean, she's kind of right, Sky. It's something you have to work on, but that's okay. You can fix your angles. You can fix
I just wanted to be. I can fix my angles, but I can't fix my face. Well, the thing is, I've never felt that vanity about taking the photos, and everybody with all the filters. Every time I see, like, for example, Joseph. Joseph's a handsome guy in real life, but he takes photographs, and I could tell, like, he's touched up, like, little pieces, and he's got the soft filter on. He's always like,
It's a big
he's always
problem
got he
today.
knows his angles.
Yeah, but it's a big problem today. It's all these filters. It's terrible for people's self-esteem.
I've
It's terrible.
never felt that way. I've always been like, well, people just need to know that cameras when people take my picture, I look a little ugly. Like I'm okay with that. Like meet me in person. I'm much
I don't
better in
think you look
person.
ugly. I think you look funny because you don't know how to, use the camera. And so you're always like,
A lot of
I
this.
don't know, what is this happening? You know what I mean? Yes, exactly. Like I had to teach
Somebody
Jess too.
screenshot
I was
this.
like, yeah, I had to teach Jess too. I was like, when you take a photo, you have to put up. You don't put down, or it's gonna be ugly. It's like, you know. Oh
Vitamin idiot! Man, I don't have a bell to ring. I need a bell. Could
yeah,
someone?
ding 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 ding
Well,
ding.
I
Ring the
went to
bell.
Target to find a toy that made noise, and I couldn't find a toy that made noise. So that when someone does something as amazing as Cole just did, Vitamin Winnie got some memberships for everybody. I wanted to ring a bell, but I don't have anything that makes noise except for my hand.
It's okay, ding ding
Not
ding.
quite the
So what
same.
does that mean? What is a vegan course? Oh, it's a membership. I
Yeah.
thought it was a course. My
No,
bad.
membership. I want to do a course. It's going to be called How to Be a Black Belt Vegan
Nice. And who are they gifting this memberships to? These
to
members.
random people in the chat. So anyone
That
who's
is
watching on the Vegan of Course channel right now, they get a free membership, but it's not free. Vitamin paid for it.
wow.
Pretty cool,
Thank
right?
you. It's amazing. This is very generous. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's really cool because it's like a 1 month membership, and I try to do as much membership only content, but also like a lot of other creators, they will literally once the stream is done, make it for members only. That happens like Vegan Gaze does that.
So you had to be there, but you cannot see in the future.
Mm. Right.
Okay.
If you
I
saw it
see.
live, it's for everybody, but if afterwards it's for members only. I thought about doing that, but I've always felt like maybe the nighttime show should be that way because I'm a little spicier, but the pre-shift is for everybody
I have not
always.
I have not watched your nighttime show. I don't know spiciness. So I
I say
don't.
the F word more. That's all I mean.
Ah, okay. I thought I thought you were talking sexy vegans.
Yeah, Joey has that awesome beard. Does he even have a beard anymore? Does he? I had a beard. My beard was pretty good.
I don't keep up with people's facial hair. I don't. I don't.
Just did that on Rams chat an hour or two ago. Badass, Jeremy Gord. Heck yeah.
Okay, Sky, you said what you were ashamed of. Can we now play the game with
Yes, let's play the game.
someone?
All right. So, Vegan Power Lab said that he wants to be in. So, Vegan Power Lab is on my channel. So, I'm going to put that in my chat on Vegan, of course. This is for the Power Lab only. If you, the Vegan, of course, I like that sticker. That's a good one.
It's
Mm,
a VOC sticker.
mm,
Hey, so Sky,
mm.
how many questions? Because I have a bunch of questions, right?
Yeah,
But they're different
he's here.
because you have to. Hello,
He's
vegan
here. He's in the
power.
waiting room.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, how many questions am I gonna ask each person? Because they're all gonna be different. So it's a surprise. You don't know what I'm gonna ask you.
I think the law of fives is pretty good.
Five.
Is
Okay.
that too many?
No, I think that's okay. I have
Okay, so
probably
here's
35.
the rules, right? You get 5 questions, and the idea is to try to bring them. Try to say it's not a race, but try to get it done quickly. We don't want you to be like her a or it's supposed to be like this. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
Right? We've played this game a few times. It's 5 questions,
I
and then
think we can do maybe 10 questions.
10. Okay, I thought 5 was too many. You think 10 is good?
Yeah, I think we can do 10 questions. We can do at least 5 people. I
All right,
have
but
probably
as
50.
long as at one of them every time is who's hotter, Sky or Joey Carbstrong.
I do not have that question. Questionnaire.
I have a
Uh,
cold, and I'm like, I shouldn't make myself laugh.
and my questions are for any gender, any age, any person.
But for vegans only.
Oh, for vegans only,
Yes.
of
All right.
course.
Are you ready? Here we go. Vegan Power Labs in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I love Mr. CIP,
Love this
Yeah,
backdrop.
that's my name, Mr. Chip.
Mr.
Oh,
Chip.
I love
Love
it.
it.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I don't think we've met.
No,
Well,
I think I've heard you in the chat. I'm sorry for interrupting.
no. I give all guests the right of way. Mr. Chip, would you mind introducing yourself so everyone knows who we're talking to?
Yeah, sure. I'm Chip. I'm Vegan Power Lab. Also, Chip. Chip. Yeah. I make some vegan videos myself. I just stand on the street and talk to people.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, I mean, I actually did the live stream just before now, and it was my first live stream, and I was very nervous.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so
Congratulations.
now
Yeah,
I'm running towards more of these things that I might get embarrassed and be nervous about it. So let's
that's
do it. Let's
great.
just get embarrassed.
Amazing. I
It's
love
always good. It's always good to get embarrassed, especially if you're a dog.
It's,
he
it's not.
said enough with the dog.
It's not so bad to be a dog, if you ask me. It's not that
No.
bad. But
Good. Good.
What
I
I,
animal? What animal would you want to be if you came back?
I mean, you made a good point about dogs, but then cats are, the cats kind of get to do whatever they want to do. Nobody's saying they get to be dicks if they want to be dicks, so that's okay,
True.
right?
true.
Cats also aren't. Cats haven't been bred to be crying, sniveling bastards. They've been bred to like at least be like. I'm not a cat person either. Like I don't want to have a cat. But I'm saying I think a cat has like a chance out there in the wild. Dogs do too, but you can even live in the city as a cat. There's city cats.
City cat.
So
Yeah.
yeah, city cats. There's cats that they're feral, but they live in a city. Dogs, if a dog is free in a city, they take him out. Dogs are
Okay,
not allowed freedom.
we said
Yeah,
enough
that's
with the
true.
dog. Can we play my game?
Okay, okay,
We-
Sky, come on. I know you're
okay.
passionate.
All right, let's go. I'm not. I wanted to ask about. I wanted to get to know Vegan Power
No,
Lab.
this I'm okay. This I'm okay. We can ask, but let's enough with the dog situation.
All right, Vegan Power Lab.
Oh my god.
Where? What city are you in?
I live in Amsterdam. That's a good point. Why didn't I say that? I live in Amsterdam.
You live in
I'm
Amsterdam. I love that
Nee.
city.
yeah.
Goedemorgen.
Oh, you
Uh,
you. I don't speak Dutch though.
Oh,
okay, you don't. Damn it.
I'm Romanian. I live
mm.
in Netherlands. I'm officially Dutch, but I refuse to speak Dutch. I only learned it, but I think everybody should speak English. The whole purpose of language is communication.
If that
Yeah.
were true, then we should all learn Esperanto. But the
Or that.
Or sign language.
the problem with sign language is we have American Sign Language and English. We have too many different ones that are culturally problematic. But Esperanto is absent of has no culture, so everyone could have the universal auxiliary language. It really does suck that it's English. I always wanted to go to Amsterdam for the weed as a teenager. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Amsterdam countless times. I love it. I'm a big fan. But you know what? The last like 5 times I was there, I did not touch any weed. I just
Because
never touched it.
you can get it in America everywhere now.
I don't smoke weed
Almost.
really. Like it's just not my. I don't know. I'd rather go do stuff. You know, there's so many cool, amazing things to do in Amsterdam. They have a
Yeah.
crazy cool cocktail culture. I know that alcohol is just another drug, but they have an incredible cocktail culture. But they have all sorts of shopping culture and just at parks and beauty that you just don't find anywhere else in the world. I'm a huge fan of Amsterdam. Um, I know I've had lots of friends that are Romanian too, because in the hospitality business out here, a lot of Romanians come to America to work in hotels and things. So I know lots of Romanians. So awesome. I speak a little of several languages. We got a bunch of them. All right. So, but we're gonna speak English for this show because because Mr. Chip thinks that we should all speak English. You sound like
Yeah.
But
so does
if
Donald
there
Trump.
is, if we ask you a question and you only know the answer in another language, that's valid too. Okay,
Yeah.
it might happen. All right.
I don't know what kind of questions to expect if you say the
It's
only
silly
answer is
questions,
It's called random stupid question game.
random stupid
okay.
questions. So
Random
So they're
stupid
random
question.
and they're stupid. All right, Pierre, let's hit it off.
Fanny Pierre, what is it?
Pierre,
All right. First question: good or bad student?
Good student.
Yes, great for you. Favorite vegan ice cream flavor?
Chocolate.
Yes, love chocolate. First thing you do after you wake up?
Go to the gym.
Oh, you don't pee? You don't go to the gym. I
Half,
mean,
of course.
What the hell? You're not supposed to be judging him. You're not supposed to judge him on it.
all right.
Going to the gym. He
I
gets
have
up
to
and
go
he,
to the bathroom first.
you
I
know,
pee, I poo, I drink tea, and then I go to
There,
the gym.
yeah,
there
no,
you go. That's the
it's a
first
process.
thing.
But like the gym, it's good to try to get all your exercise in before your brain realizes what you're doing, so your brain doesn't have
Exactly.
time to get out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah,
still, if you
yeah.
have to pee and you're doing some very hard exercise, it can be dangerous, right?
Hmm.
Anyways, last time you ate croissant,
Oh my God, 2 years ago maybe.
two what?
I'm not a fan of
Two
croissants.
years without
It's
croissants?
hard to find vegan croissants.
Yeah, maybe in Amsterdam it's hard to find vegan
No,
croissants. No,
No.
no,
huh?
there's a lot of vegan croissants. I'm just not a big fan
It's
of
bakeries and stuff.
pastries and
Of
yeah.
fatty pastries. This guy's a gym nut. He's not just trying to get all fat and
Exactly.
flabby like a Frenchman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
Okay.
to the gym right
Um,
after he pees and poos and has tea. The gym.
so another question that might be related to that. How often do you eat potatoes?
Once every 2 weeks maybe.
What do you eat in the meantime?
I eat a lot of Mexican food. A lot of Mexican
Oh,
food.
nice. Oh, nice. Hey, sorry, I do follow up questions because
That's
I'm
one thing.
interested.
That's one thing that I think a lot of people don't know is that Amsterdam, though one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world, has a pretty shitty restaurant scene. You don't have that many great restaurants. It's a weird thing, but there's a few, and I wouldn't think of it as a Mexican restaurant mecca though.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I mostly make it at home. No.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. How often? Oh, sorry. Question comes back. How
Wait,
often do you use the bathroom in a day?
Oh my God, that's 10, 12 times. A lot, like every 30 minutes pretty much.
really? You must be
Really?
hydrated.
I
You drink a
drink
lot.
like I drink at least 4 or 5 liters per day. That's a gallon,
Whoa.
I guess, in US.
Yeah, about four is in a gallon. About that.
So I imagine you only spend like 5 minutes in the bathroom if you go that often. Because if you go 10 times a day for 15,
5 minutes.
for even 5 minutes, it's like almost an
That's a
hour a day.
Yeah, but
Wow.
that's a
30
lot.
seconds.
Yeah, who spends
Yeah.
5 minutes in the bathroom? I'm not sitting there like getting on my phone. I mean, I'm in and out. Like, what do
Exactly.
yeah,
We
I'm
have
in there.
different habits.
I'm
I
in there
spent when I was
minute
young.
tops. I'm gonna start timing myself just because I think that's ludicrous. 5 minutes. I don't know what the hell. If I had, maybe it's also I worked in hospitality, so like if a server went to the bathroom for 5 minutes, I'd be like, where the fuck were you? You're supposed to be working. Five
Me,
minutes.
I just like to take my time. Listen,
Apparently,
it's like everything.
Jesus, 5 minutes. It's like an hour of your day is gone. That's like most people commute.
No, but honestly, like one thing I'll say, like I take PP breaks to like change my mind, to be like, oh, I've been working and I'm focusing on this for this long. Let's take a little break,
You
and
treat
I'll
them
go
like
to
a
the bathroom.
cigarette break.
Yes, that's it. That's what's happening, I guess.
Interesting. I
All
do
right.
that with
Even when you don't have to.
even when you just have to. Even when you don't have to, you take 5 minutes. When you don't.
Sometimes I'll just go and I'll just be there and chill for a minute and be like,
Mm.
take a breath, and just think about
Bathrooms are
life.
kind of sad little places. It's a sad little room. I think speaks to your desire to be on the highest tree, far away from humanity,
Yeah, it's the only
at the
place you can
bottom of
be
the ocean.
alone. Nobody comes and bothers you. You can just be like, peace. You know what I mean?
Well, I will say that that's why I like movie theaters because no one I could turn off my phone, no one bothers me. And if I tell people, hey, why'd you take 2 hours to get back to me? I was in the movies. Oh, it's like that's right. And for a break, I play chess on my phone, and
Ah,
it's like 2 minutes, and that's like how long it used to take me to smoke a cigarette. It was to be like five minutes, like a cigarette, right?
I
5 minutes.
play a game where I have to make burgers and donuts. It's a
Mm.
silly game.
Girls' rooms are not nicer nerds like us. I have taken from somebody who has cleaned bathrooms, public bathrooms. The ladies' room is not better than the other one. But back to nerds. Okay, but nerds like us ask, do you cycle everywhere since you live in Amsterdam?
Ah, yeah.
Absolutely everywhere. Yeah, it's surprising to me that because I wanted to move to US for a year. My sister lives in US,
Yeah.
and the one
Where,
thing
where,
that
where, where in the U.S.? U.S. is such a
she
big
lives
country.
in,
You can't just say
yeah,
U.S.
fair enough. Fair enough. She lives in North Carolina, but if I had moved, I would have moved to California because
Because it's
Yes,
California.
it's
that's
California. Yeah,
funny.
but the fact that the fact that you're so dependent on the car means so much higher price, more time on the road. It's kind of it's what
Not
deters me.
necessarily. I mean, Fanny doesn't have a car.
No.
I have. I spent a lot of my life not have like actively, intentionally not having a car. You just have to plan a bit better. Like you could get an apartment closer to where you work, so you can walk. Like I always did that. Like if I got a new job, I'd change apartments. I would move. I don't understand people who want to be like commuting for 2 hours to get to work. Sounds insane to me. You know.
Oh yeah, who wants to
Yeah.
do that?
No, Davis, California, bike capital, also monkey torturing capital of America. There's about almost 5,000 monkeys being tortured every single day in Davis, California. They are
That's
the uh, largest collection of monkeys in America. Are right there in Davis for the National Primate Research.
it's
Only
pretty
for
cold
research, not
right now.
cosmetics.
Not cosmetics, no, no, no. For experimenting on. So they smash them in the heads with hammers. They get them hooked on cocaine, put them in gas chambers, starve them, scare them. You know that type of stuff. You know, not anything that would really be useful, but they do also give them AIDS and then cure their AIDS because we can cure AIDS in monkeys now, but we can't cure it in humans because we've been testing on monkeys the whole time. I'm fortunate to live close enough to walk to work. Mr. Satan, see, exactly. You could do it. You don't have to do that. But whatever you do, don't move to North Carolina. It's great, but no. I've been to I've been a lot. I've been to North Carolina a lot. I was just there.
My
It's
my favorite thing about cars, to be honest, is the same. I guess I just love sometimes having my own bubble, but for me, and maybe that's because I'm hypersensitive, but for me, being in a car is like a safe environment, not driving and all, but just being inside the car. You can sing, you can cry, you can do it. Nobody knows.
it's
It's
like
your
the pouch on a crazy lady on her sweatshirt.
crazy.
I
Oh my
sing on the
gosh,
bike, by the way.
What's that?
Sky, another membership.
Woo 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 woo!
Ding, ding,
Thank you
ding,
so
ding,
much.
ding. Mr. Chip, do you have a bell? Do you have a
I
bell?
need
Like,
a
oh
bill. My finger slipped.
no, I don't have a bell.
Oh, their finger slipped. Oh no.
I wanted to, have you ever been to like on New Year's Eve? They have those sound makers that you turn like this goes, "Rah."
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The,
Yeah.
I want one of those.
all right. All
Some kind of
right.
noise maker. Mr. Chip, when did you go? Oh, wait, sorry. Go
Next
ahead, Danny.
question.
Go ahead,
Next.
Pierre.
We're ready for another question.
Yeah.
Okay. What music instrument should not exist?
Oh, should not exist.
You cannot think too much.
A violin.
A
Violin.
violin shouldn't exist.
I
It's
love
made out of
it.
cat guts. They strung that thing with cat guts. I think.
I I did not know that. My only concern is that you don't have any of the lines on it as you do
Oh,
on the
there's no
guitar. So
frets.
no
Yeah.
frets. Yeah. So it's
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 not
much more
easy to.
difficult to play.
They also make fretless guitars though, and fretless basses, and just
I
For
just love the
masochists,
sound.
basically.
that's right. Yeah, for masochists, exactly. Okay,
Okay.
violin. I think it should never have existed because they made it with cat guts, but that thing and horsehair.
That
Horsehair. The bow is also horsehair.
I
oh yeah,
know
that
it's
I yeah.
terrible.
Horsehair and cat guts.
Next question. What's the most attractive trait for you in people?
Intelligence.
Nice.
A
So,
saposexual, they call that.
a what?
I find myself being that way. Yes, saposexual.
Saposexual is someone who's attracted by someone else's intelligence.
Nice.
What kind of a sadistic fuck thought, hey, I wonder what it sounds like when you take a horse's hair and rub it up against a cat gut? Like, who thought of that shit? Like, who thought of that? I want to first. I got to kill a cat. to find out. Like somebody's first, I gotta kill a cat. Then I need to dry out the cat's guts. Now I gotta get that horse. I gotta get that horse over here. I got to take his whole tail because I need a lot of it. It's
I know it's terrible, but people have not thought, oh, we're gonna do this with cats, and they were just like, I have all these body parts because we eat them, we do, and they just did that, right?
But they would have to braid the hair, right? Because the hairs are not long. So somebody actually had some intention into it, right?
no. I think they
Like
take it from his tail
Yeah,
oh, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
it's tail hair,
or the
yeah.
mane. I think. Yeah, I don't think they took it from the.
Hey, it's late for me.
Braid, braid, everyone hair.
I don't think they took it from the shoulder.
I thought they took one.
And they
Right.
lined them all up and then
Same.
glued them together.
I'm gonna
It was
tease you. I'm gonna
required.
tease you for a minute. So you said you were interested in intelligent, smart
Yeah,
people.
because you like in others what you don't have yourself, right?
That's true. That's true. Opposites attract.
I
Yeah,
love this. I
yeah.
love
That's
this.
why I only. That's why I had to get a pretty girl.
I love it. I've been found myself attracted to someone who's gay because their mind way beautiful. I mean, yeah, I always say to people, I have never been physically attracted to a woman, but
You're
I
missing
think
out. They're
I
great.
I'm sure, but like all the you know, some people have types. With me, I have zero types. I doesn't matter for me age or whatever. But I that's why I always thought if I ever met a woman that I thought was like, wow, I love them or whatever, I could probably. I don't see why not. I'm like, but
I
it's
mean,
never happened to me. But
yeah. I mean, I get that. I mean, if I could go back in time and hang out with Brad Pitt when he was making Fight Club, who knows what would happen.
who
But
knows?
if
Who
he were
knows?
vegan, first of all, you'd have to be vegan and he'd have to be Brad Pitt in Fight Club. So
Okay. Do you want to talk about something else, or I have two more
no,
questions?
keep going. I want to hear.
All right. The last time you removed the hair from the shower drain.
I since I moved in, I never did it.
There.
So three
He doesn't have
years.
much hair up top though.
You're gonna
Yeah,
have to use some Drano.
He keeps it short.
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
That's unless somebody plucks it and makes a violin thing.
Yeah, you gotta pluck them all and then line them up like with crazy
Exactly.
glue.
I love
Yeah.
it. Okay, and last question of the day. What is your favorite drink?
Ah, tea or water? I'm not much of a.
Tea
And
or water? What kind of tea are we
yeah,
talking
what kind
about?
of tea?
I'm a huge fan of fresh mint tea or ginger or fresh ginger tea. Those
So
are
not tea at all, but like a tisane, like
Herbal.
a herb that you put hot water on.
I've
No
never
cap.
heard of this word tisane, but
Tisane is a tisane. It's not a made up word. Tisane. It's like a tea, but without any tea leaves. It's usually like hibiscus or
yeah.
ginger, mint. But the thing is, like a lot of mint, like Moroccan mint, it will also have chamomile as a tisane, but like Moroccan mint will also have green tea
Green
in it.
tea. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why it's great. Tisane or infusion. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh,
See,
that's
I
good
know
to
I'm not
know.
making shit up. Coffee. Coffee's his favorite.
So
Nothing wrong with it.
congratulations, you
You did it.
succeeded. 10 questions
You
and
did
Yay!
it.
you
You did
did
it.
it.
But no, I got more. When did you go vegan?
Ah,
2 years ago.
Awesome.
nice.
Actually, 2 years ago, maybe not today or yesterday. I don't remember the exact date, but
What made you wake up and see the world differently?
one of Joey's videos, really.
Joey Carbstrong. There you go. You
Yeah,
see, this is why I think Joey Carbstrong does good work. Everyone got on my case. I'm like, Joey Carbstrong does good work,
he
but he
does.
also did outside of veganism. I think he's kind of a dummy, but inside of veganism, I think he's pretty incredible.
I mean, I just saw one of his debates, and what got me, because I was a vegetarian before that, I wasn't consuming a lot of vegetarian products anyway. And what got me was something like, because I always thought, oh, dairy can be ethical theoretically, but what
Hmm.
got me was he asked that person, well, is the thing that you're buying that way? Like, no. Oh shit. it's not also for me. So then I said, oh, I gotta change. And then from the next day onwards, no more buying animal products whatsoever. And back.
Good.
Wow.
That's
Mhm.
awesome. Yeah, I get that too. Like, I had a similar thing where I was thinking that I could buy organic from farms that people knew and like blah 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 blah. But then it's like then you go and you buy a cupcake or somebody makes a cupcake for you and I'm like, I don't know where those eggs came from. I don't know where that milk came from, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's true, that's true.
You know?
It's like everybody who is always saying, yes, but I know this local farmer. But then if you really look at the data, it's 98% of any meat
Yeah.
made in America that's from factory farms. And you're like, okay, maybe you're from the 1 or 2%.
Bullshit. Yeah.
But it's like, seriously, unless you're raising your own animals, I
Mhm.
don't believe you.
Well, every time I
Yeah,
have a little video that goes viral, I get like a ton of people telling me how they eat eggs from their backyard and shit. And it's like, go fuck yourself. I don't believe that shit for a second. Like,
in the
Yeah.
Netherlands, it's also particularly harder with dairy because as you go out, like when you bike from one place to the other, most of the times you will inherently pass by some fields that have cows.
mhm.
Because just going outside of Amsterdam for like 1 kilometer outside it's full of cows, and you see them lying around doing something, and you expect them, oh, these are happy animals, they're treated well, nothing happens, they just milk them, and then you get the byproduct basically, until you
Mm.
find out. Because the first time when I saw Joey, I also didn't believe that that's happening in the Netherlands, seeing all of this. But then I had to Google it, and I found out all of the shit that happens here also is
Yeah.
quite bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
it's
I
like, even
couldn't
if it weren't bad, right? We'd still, even if it weren't bad, it still is, they don't belong to us. We shouldn't be inseminating them, all the other shit. But it's hard to even get to that if people don't know about the horrors of it. But you also are doing street activism in Amsterdam, right? So what does that look like?
Yeah.
What kind of stuff? Describe it for me.
So I mostly now I found this new thing that I'm doing. It's called Would You Rather.
Uh huh.
I have a plaque. Let
Hmm.
me actually show you. I
Yeah, let me
have
see it.
this. Yeah, I have this plaque right here where I say, "Let's play Would You Rather,"
Okay.
and I just sit out with it on the street, and then I ask five
Okay, so play with
questions.
me. Play with me. Okay, so I want to play. I want to
Okay.
play.
Okay, let me ask you the Would You Rather questions.
Yeah.
Okay, let me because I have them on the phone. Okay,
Okay. Yeah, I want to play.
would you rather be a cat or a dog?
Oof. You know, I like dogs more than I like cats, but I'm have to say I would rather be a cat than a dog. I couldn't imagine an animal I would less like to be than a dog, but I like dogs more than I like cats.
Okay, that's a good answer. I usually when people say cat or dog, I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. I also like cats or I also like dogs. So in your case, I
Oh,
would say I also like cats.
okay.
Would you rather be able to talk to animals temporarily or temporarily take one of their enhanced senses or capabilities?
Mm.
To talk to them.
Yeah, to talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah, and then can I ask why?
Because I'd love to know how they see the world.
Yeah, me too. I'm curious.
Yeah, that's actually a surprising amount of people answer exactly this. I want to know what they think. I want to see how they see the world. And then I go on. Would you rather have the intelligence of a pig or that of a dog?
Ooh, I'd rather have the intelligence of a pig than a dog.
I think
Yeah,
pigs are smarter.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to be anything like a dog.
yeah, the dog thing again. Yeah, the reason
I've
why I
seen
asked this
pigs
question.
jump off of trucks to escape their fate. A dog just cries. But go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. No, the reason why I asked this question is because a lot of people say dogs. Surprising amount of people say dogs, and then I say, well, would you be surprised to know that pigs are actually more intelligent?
Mm.
And that I try to tell them a little bit of a fact that what pigs do, like that they sometimes decorate their house with flowers, or that they have sex for pleasure, and people like that.
And they have like
And
very
now,
long orgasms, don't they? Have like 90-minute orgasms, something ridiculous. Also, uh, you know what else? Pigs. I know this is animal experimentation, but they have
yeah,
found that pigs will like hit a button. They had this thing where they put pigs in a pen, and the pigs were bored. Now, what they could do is push a button, and they would be blasted in the face with a blast of air, and it would be very uncomfortable for the pig, but they would still rather hit that than be bored.
Oh
They'd
wow.
rather hit the button and get hit in the face with the air than be bored.
It's
'Cause
like it makes me think of we'd rather receive pain than being ignored. It makes
yeah,
me
I
think
mean,
the same.
totally. I think that's
Some
another reason
people
why human
stay,
beings, yeah,
yeah, in abusive relationships.
we see it in humanity so much, like how not being noticed, being bored, being full of despair. We turn to drugs, we turn to alcohol, we turn to destructive behavior, and animals with certain intelligence will do the same thing. And pigs are one of those animals. I think it's fascinating. In fact, the report that I saw, the people who were doing this to pigs were crying that the same pigs were slaughtered
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh
the
wow.
people who did the experiment got
We have
attached to pigs.
we have a question. Never seen this approach before. Really great questions. What inspired you to use this approach?
Yeah, so I went on a live stream with Vegan for Kindness, and I usually try to prepare for when I do stuff, and
Mhm.
I prepared a couple of questions for him, and one of the questions was, what farm animal would you rather be if you could choose a
Mm,
farm animal that you want to be? And he said, oh, this would be an interesting thing to ask people on the outreach. And I don't know. I thought from that to try to develop a bit more, and then I asked myself a couple of would you rather questions, because before that I was just sitting with a sign and with an iPad that showed footage from the animal industry, and very like one person per hour would stop maybe. And whereas with this approach, I get three people every 30 minutes if I like every
Amazing.
a lot
wow.
more people
Okay, I
stop.
want to know more. I want to know more. Let's go back through. Okay, so where are we on this? I'd rather be a
Okay,
pig.
so
Rather be as smart as
exactly.
a pig. Yeah.
Okay, and the next question is a harder question, so be prepared. Would you rather be a well-fed farm animal but whose life is full of exploitation only to be cut severely short at a quarter, or a wild animal who would have a life full of mostly starving but would be free to live your life as long as you wanted and as much as you could?
That's a really great question.
Wild animal, but I don't know that they're mostly starving. But okay, because I don't think they're starving. They're not going to die. They're mostly looking for food. Like they're on the hunt. They're looking for. They're yeah. The one
Yeah.
that's like they're a bit leaner. They got to be lean. I'd much rather be a wild animal. You fucking kidding me? I think Fanny would rather be a cared for animal.
Why? Because
Your
I
because
like
of your attitude on dogs.
No, I love freedom. I love freedom, but I think dogs are fine with humans, but I love freedom.
You're
Yeah,
pro
it's
freedom, except when it comes to dogs.
Thank you for rephrasing my words in something I did not say. No, it's not that. It's like I think dogs are not unhappy with people. I
Mm.
think they have been bred to be like this. So they are what they are
I
today.
know that's the worst part.
It's
You're totally
it's
right, but it's
it's
the
sad,
worst
you
part.
know? But me as a human, and that's why I want all animals to be free, I value freedom above anything. And if dogs were free from humans, if there were huge sanctuaries where dogs can just be, I would never have a dog at home. Never. It's just,
Yeah, I get
yeah,
you. I'm not
yeah.
yeah.
saying you're bad for having a dog. I'm saying
Oh, I'm
I
fine.
don't think bad. I don't think dogs. Fuck it. Anyway, so all right, I
Let's
like
keep
this.
on with the
Yeah.
questions of
So
Mr. Chip.
yeah, Mr. Chip. What's next? Okay, so yeah, I'd
Okay.
rather be free.
Yeah, so then I tell them, obviously, a lot of people say I'd rather be free. And I say, of course, because you value freedom, like animals also do, right? There's some people that say that rather be a well-fed farm animal, but they're not being true to
Sincere.
Very
themselves most of the
honest.
times. And then I try to call
They're
them
not
out.
being
You're
sincere.
being a bit
Yeah, they're
disingenuous.
lying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because then I ask them, well, if the farmer would decide that you have to die tomorrow or today, right now, would you be okay with that? And there's some who would go like, well, if I would be well fed, that would be fine.
Do die early, no problem. Okay,
Yeah,
but you can
yeah.
always mix in. Would you like to be an animal that gets fed every day, but also gets raped every year and is forced to give birth every year? Or would you rather be a free animal who's always looking out, always has to look out for food, always has to find his own food, work hard for his food? Because that's the thing, it's laziness, but you're exploited every day, or hard work, but you're free. I think that like
Yeah, I
yeah.
kind of when I made this question, I didn't want to leave room for somebody to say, but it's not really like this or it's not really like that. And when I
Mm,
talk to a lot of people about wild animals, a lot of people say, well, it's good to be. A lot of people that claim it's good to be a farm animal, they say that, well, wild animals are always on the brink of starvation. Their whole life is that they're starving. So that's why I kind of want to went on this route
I
to make it
honestly
the best
think
case for farm and the worst. Yeah. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
I honestly think that some people would truthfully say that they would rather be fed and be okay and feel safe for a short amount of time than feel free but be scared and not knowing, because I see a lot of humans
Yeah, Fanny,
choosing.
most people are like that. That's
Exactly.
real. Yeah, that's what I see when
Exactly.
I see people waiting in line at Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. That's what that is.
Yeah, they would rather have comfort and not change anything about their lives and not be scared of taking risks and all of that. That's why I always say that one of the biggest strength or skills you have to have as a vegan is being courageous, is being brave, to do things that are scary, to do differently, to take risks that maybe won't pay off. Like that's a big thing. And
Yeah.
that's why I think when people say, "Oh, I can't go vegan because cheese," I'm like, that's not the real thing. The real thing is you can't go vegan because you're not brave enough, you're not courageous, and you're afraid. So you just keep doing the same thing, even if it's really uncomfortable and it's bad for
Mhm.
you feel terrible, you're in depression or whatever, but you'd rather stay there than go where it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Also,
so I read this book a while back. They made a movie about it that wasn't very good, but the book was actually fantastic. It's called The Life of Pi. Do you remember that? It was a pretty big movie, but I didn't think the movie was very good. The book was pretty fucking great, and in it, there's this really interesting defense of zoos in the beginning of the book. And Jan Martel, he's such an interesting writer because is it Jan Martel? I think that's who wrote it. He does this where he like will justify the exploitation of animals in the beginning of his book, and in the end, you realize that it's a pretty big metaphor for the entire story. And the defense of zoos was that, well, in the wild, a lion doesn't want to go far away from water, go far away from where he can have sex, and go far away from where he can eat. A zoo, you have all of those things for the lion. You have them right there. And
Animals live
so
longer in zoos. They live
that's
longer,
they
but they
say
have
that, but
depression. 80% of animals in zoos have depression, but they live longer.
they say that, but it depends on the zoo, firstly, and also I think it's kind of a lie. They say that about shamu, about orcas all the time, that they live longer in captivity, but I think it's a crapshoot. Comfort culture and convenience are no excuse for animals. Yep, I agree. All right, so what's the next question? How many questions are there?
it's just one more left, and
Oh,
the
let's hear it.
last one is I asked. The last one is if you had to choose to be a farm animal in today's world, which animal would you be? A cow for dairy, a cow for meat, a pig, a chicken for eggs, or a chicken for meat? And
What about fish?
I don't I could also add fish. I know.
But
The reason
nah,
why I
don't.
don't
No one thinks of a fish as a farm animal. Never mind.
that's the thing. I try to.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Most people anyway choose like cow for dairy or
Chicken eggs.
chicken for eggs. Yeah, exactly. Chicken for eggs. A lot of them are like no, 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 because they're in those confined places. So no, not chicken for eggs.
So
And
what
then
do
they
people
go cow
mostly
for
say?
dairy.
Cow for
Cow
dairy.
for
Yeah.
dairy. It's the most. And when I explain to them, because then I get the chance to explain to them. Oh, but do you know what happens in the
Regulate.
dairy industry?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And after they hear that, they don't necessarily change their mind. They go like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that." And then I just continue the conversation. Why aren't you vegan and all that stuff? So,
Hmm.
so what is keeping you? And it usually goes well. Some people get very triggered by it. Some don't. Depends.
That's always the case. Okay, but where do you send them
Yeah.
people in the end? What do you tell them to go?
In the end, I also do activism with We the Free, so I have some of their cards and I
The
send
little.
them to
Mhm.
the yeah to the three movies
That's
that
great.
WTF.
Yeah, with your code and everything to let them see the three movies and all that.
Uh, Without the code, I always forget to write the code. Just with just the card.
The code's the best part. That way you can track your how many of your people go to the. I mean, you might be depressed by how
Yeah,
few of them. You never know, but it might be really
exactly.
fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, I ask them to not throw it away because if they throw it away, I'm not gonna give the card to them. And then sometimes I even ask them to promise me that they'll watch what I ask them to watch. And
We
I
the
know
free for
maybe
the win.
yeah, sometimes maybe that doesn't mean anything to them, like the fact that they promise. But you know,
I think if you make people promise, they usually do it. They'll go. I'm like, you
yeah,
promise, you
exactly.
promise. Look in my eyes, and then you make a big show of it. They'll remember it. I was
Yeah,
walking by
yeah,
a
yeah,
farm, 30 little cute sheep babies running up to me. I
You
love
know,
it.
you
Vegan
know,
Power Lab.
it's interesting because I remember, and like earlier, I talked about being hypersensitive, and I remember someone one day gave me a book about that, and I didn't read it for a year. And then when I read it, I was like mind blown, and I was like, why didn't I take the time to read
Mhm.
this before? And sometimes, as vegans, we reach out to people or we talk about someone or and we see nothing right away, but some like people have to make their
Yeah,
own.
plant those seeds. Yeah.
We're planting seeds, so even if you don't see right away someone who's like going to go watch the video, that doesn't mean that they have not been affected. And it's also you're adding to. I always tell, because when Jess was talking about feathers, my husband Jess, probably Witch and Kindness Town and all, was talking about feathers. He felt very lonely at the beginning because even people in the veganism movement activism, we're not really talking about feathers. That wasn't a thing 5 years ago. And so he was the only one, and I was like, but you cannot carry that by yourself. Like, you have to think, I'm doing my part, and at some point other people are going to do their part, and then the weight of all of us is going to what it is what's going to make a change. But just us alone, we're not going to make 2,000 people go vegan, but they're going to hear from us. Then they're going to hear from Sky. Then they're going to hear from you. And and it's the weight of all of these
Yeah.
voices. It's going to be a change.
and
Yeah,
it also
absolutely.
normalizes the discussion towards veganism
Hmm.
more, right? The more you
Absolutely.
hear about it, the more it's like, oh, I keep hearing about this veganism. It's maybe it's a new normal. Maybe I should look more into it or
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah, when it becomes
Yeah.
commonplace, people tend to. But what about sheep? Wait a second. What about sheep though? Because I think that's a good one. I said fish, but what about sheep? That'd be a good one to ask too, because you could
Yeah,
talk
I
about.
actually somebody replied with sheep, a sheep for wool,
Yeah.
and I had to explain some of the things, but I honestly don't know a lot about what's happening in the sheep for wool, so I had to look it up
Yeah,
myself
every
afterwards.
year
And
they get the shit beat out of them, and then they have someone with a sharp blade running across their bodies while they get their asses kicked, punched in the face, and everything. And then, and usually, and also they get bred, but then they when they stop growing hair so fast, they get murdered. Like, you
yeah,
know what I mean?
it's exactly what I expected. Yeah, yeah, and also I heard that they sometimes shear them when they're normally supposed to do that when they're in season, but not all sheep are going to be in season at the same time, so they're
Mhm.
going to do it anyway. It's a whole thing.
They
It's
do it when
awful.
it's
Yeah,
yeah, capital. Also, they have pieces of their asses removed so they don't get they call it muesling, so they don't get fly strike. They just cut off giant pieces of their buttocks so that they don't, and they get tail docked. That's true. Just I mean, they have pieces of their bodies removed because they've been bred to have lots of wrinkles in their skin, and but those wrinkles in their skin give it more surface area for hair to grow, wool to grow, but that's also places where flies can lay their eggs. It's ridiculous. Benji, gute Nacht, mein Herr, gute Nacht. Well,
Well, you could also ask for animals being in labs and tested on, like monkeys or rabbits, or they have a breed of dog, the
yeah,
beagle dog. They test a lot on beagles.
they
So,
do. They test on all sorts of dogs though. Beagles are just the most popular because they're so friendly.
mhm.
yeah. I mean, the reason why I don't ask I know there's a lot more in the animal agriculture that's
Yeah,
shit. The
yeah,
reason I don't go into too much details is also because I don't want to overwhelm them.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
a lot of the times, most actually not most of the times, people find difficulty in switching to vegans because of the diet, not
Mhm.
because of cosmetics or anything else. Even if afterwards, I mean, if you ask me when I switched on for the diet was very easy. The cosmetics part actually took more time because I had to find out which cosmetics there are, and there are way less options in cosmetics than there are with a diet. At least in
Mhm.
Netherlands, maybe in US it's better. So,
Mhm.
but I try not to overwhelm people with that. That's mostly the reason.
Oh
I
my
just go for the
gosh, my finger though.
15, 15 membership. Yay!
Everyone's a member.
I can do this.
Everyone's a
Wait,
member.
Member. Yay! Oh
Oh
my
wow!
god!
How did you do
I
that?
apparently on macOS, if you lift your thumbs like this it does that.
Oh my gosh, mine doesn't do that. You have Mac OS, don't you?
Yeah, I do. A MacBook.
You're on a Mac. Weird.
Yeah,
Interesting.
That's
Yeah, maybe they
amazing.
can see my fingers. How do you have to? It's all about angles,
It's all
Sky.
about angles. That's what I've learned. That I'm
yes.
hideous, but I like that very much. I think you did doing a perfect job. I think it's wonderful. I love this idea of the would you rather. What's your sign say again?
It says let's play Would You Rather. That's all it says.
Let's play would you rather. And then what do you set up
I
like
love
a
it.
tripod?
Yeah, I set up a tripod on the spot, and then uh,
You
I
invite.
let people come to me. Yeah, I also have like, because I also noticed I have this mic and I keep it visible so that people see that I'm filmed. Because sometimes
Yeah.
people at first I didn't show this, and some people got triggered and like, I don't want to post this, and I don't want to, I know don't have any obligation towards anybody, but
Yeah.
to not post this because I'm in a public space. But I don't want to. The whole point
Yeah.
of all this is to get people to be okay with it, to be
Yeah.
friendly, to understand
Yeah.
the whole veganism point. So I just show this always at all times. And when I talk to them, I do this so that they are aware that they're being filmed and everything.
Is that
So
fake or what? Is it a fake
I mean,
mic?
no, it's literally just I put the microphone inside of it.
Oh,
Oh,
I have
okay.
you
it's a
do have a
wireless.
mic.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
wireless
wireless
mic.
microphone that I put inside this one, and then I put this one on top.
I like it though. That's amazing, dude. What a
Yeah.
great thing. I can't wait to see more of your stuff. I need to check out your channel and maybe do some reaction videos to it. I'd love to see it for sure.
Maybe not the latest video, because the latest video wasn't the most successful.
Well,
It's
the next
when it's
one.
very yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna go. Tomorrow it's gonna be -5 degrees, and I'm gonna go, and I'm just, I don't know if I wore 3 pair of socks when it was 0 degrees. I don't know how it's gonna be when it's -5. So
Where do you go? Do you go to like the tulip thing, or where do you go do this?
uh, so
The tulip
there's
market.
I go to the museum line where next to Van Gogh Museum. I sit there because it's the most foot traffic. It's not just Dutch people.
Wait, that is
It's
the
Dutch
tulip
people.
market, right? That's over there
I have no clue if that's the tulip market over
by the
there. I
Van
know
Gogh
there's a
Museum.
tulip
I
museum.
think
Oh,
so.
okay
Yeah,
then. Yeah, yeah.
I've been
So
there. Yeah.
it's most people you can. I mean, the most are in the center station, but
hmm
uh, there it's a lot of traffic. Sometimes people are in a hurry to get to
The
museums, but
station is not good because they gotta. Yeah, they're on their way to a train and shit. Yeah, they don't want to talk to you.
yeah,
You need to get them when
exactly.
they're kind of hanging out. Like when I was at college campuses, like if we could get to their where they eat lunch and they're just chilling and stuff, they'll talk to us and hang out. But if they're on their way to class, they're sorry, I'm on my way to class. I got an exam. I can't talk to you. Like you don't want to give them that idea. I love
Oh,
this
that's a
though
good point.
because also when you're at in Amsterdam, you probably get people from all over the world.
I only got one Dutch person so far, so yeah,
Really?
Wow,
yeah.
that's interesting.
Because it's such a cosmopolitan city. You like, there's
Yeah,
not. You don't. Everyone's from someplace else.
that's great.
I mean, the whole area is called the Museumplein. It's the square of museums. So I expect to be mostly just tourists in that area and people coming to visit Amsterdam.
God, I love it. Amsterdam's the perfect place to do that type of outreach. Imagine someone going to Amsterdam and going, "Oh, remember that dude that we met, that crazy guy that was asking me all those questions about the farm animals?" And then they get home, and that's their memory of Amsterdam. You've put in them because people like to remember their vacations and stuff, and so they're gonna remember that. They're gonna remember you when they go home, and maybe
Yeah,
they'll even watch their video.
yeah, and that it's also that the thing is, I also talk to them, and Amsterdam, I think a lot of them, they're tourists for more than one day, at least the people that I talk to, and they're aware that the restaurants in Amsterdam, there are a lot of them are tourist traps. And I tell them, listen, if you want good food in Amsterdam, go for the vegan restaurants, because locals, they love them vegan restaurants. And that's actually true. A lot of people here, if you want to have a good food in Amsterdam, go for vegan food. It's
That's
good.
true everywhere, though. When you go to the vegan restaurants, that's usually where you see the locals. You don't usually
Yeah.
see all the tourists that want to eat it, get fat on bratwurst and Heineken or whatever the hell. People don't really eat Dutch
And
food in the
also,
Netherlands.
tourists are gonna go for the big brands that they know, the big, like,
Oh my God. When they put that KFC
yeah.
because I was there the first year that KFC was open in fucking Amsterdam, there was a line so long coming out. There's always a line, probably still today. There's just a line out the door for
Mhm.
KFC. People getting high, wanting to eat. Because there's districts that are just like that. There's a place, by the way, called the Slanted Door. I think it's
Slanted door.
it's on Wormerstrasse. It's like it's on the other side of the red light district. It's the oldest bar in Amsterdam, and I always go there. And they only sell one kind of drink. They only sell Dutch Genever, and you can't get Genever like that anywhere else in the world. They only sell Genever, and I think Genever is one of my favorite liquors, my favorite spirits. It's the oldest spirit in that we have. It's the oldest spirit that humans still drink is Genever, but you can't really get it outside of Dutch. You could get some here in America, but not really. Like Bowles makes a really good one, but
Isn't
anyway,
there another, like, how does that, like, it's an alcohol that they used to drink that's like almost pure alcohol. How is it called?
uh,
Oh,
who who drinks
Uh,
it?
they absinthe.
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 Yeah.
Isn't absinthe like one of the oldest alcohol? Yeah,
No, absinthe.
absinthe.
Absinthe's wormwood liqueur, but it actually doesn't have more alcohol than any other. It usually comes in at like 40 to 50%. But the people would add it tastes like licorice, and people would add drugs to it in the 19th century. So people got like really into it. But
That's
it
what
really, yeah. But it's absinthe is delicious actually, and you can get it in Amsterdam if you want. You can get it all over. You can get it in America now though too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They made it illegal for a while in most countries because artists like to drink it with drugs, and so they made absinthe illegal.
Hmm.
But it's not the alcohol that was doing it. It was the psychedelics they were putting in there, and all the other drugs they were putting into it. Anyway, yeah, absinthe is what Baudelaire drank, also what Van Gogh drank, Toulouse-Lautrec, all those like early 19th century guys, the Bohemians, they all drank that. Yeah, that was their big drink. I thought the answer was going to be moonshine. I thought she was talking about Everclear. Yeah, he talked about Everclear. Yeah. Uh, just looked at the chat. Sorry, Elliot Davies. Okay, cool. Well, my aunt smuggled a bottle of real absinthe from Europe. It was all right. It's good. Yeah, I mean, the first time I had it, I was in the Czech Republic. I was in Czech Republic is the real what Bohemia, where the word comes from. It's Bohemia, and I said I wanted to have absinthe, and I couldn't get it in Germany, and it was the first time I ever had it, and it was still illegal in America. But now you can get it here in California. You can get it everywhere now.
It's pretty. It kind of fucks you up though. It's pretty.
Yeah, but every alcohol will fuck you up. Like
No.
if you do shots of alcohol, That's why I don't do
Fair,
shots. So
fair.
like, if you do shots, it fucks you up. People always like, oh, tequila fucks you up. Yeah, because you're shooting it.
I know someone that you know, Sky, who likes to do shots.
Who likes to do shots? I know. Karina likes to do shots. Yeah, I never do shots. Never.
I've
I
had
never do
I've
shots.
had Karina in my house doing shots.
I never do shots. I don't like getting fucked up. I like drinking and thinking about this alcohol from because like even Geneva comes in these weird little tulip glasses, and you have to drink the first one, and then
Yeah.
you can drink little slow sips. It's amazing. I love it. All right.
Hmm.
Well, where can we find you, Vegan Power Lab, so we can say goodbye? Tell everyone where they can find you and where they can follow you, and then we'll say goodbye.
Okay, you can find me on YouTube. Vegan Power Lab is my channel, at Vegan Power Lab, one word. I'm also on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, but the same content is on YouTube, and I would urge you to go on YouTube. Thank you so much for having me here. I actually have to go to the bathroom now, as I've said, 30 minutes. I don't know how
Every
long
30
it's been.
minutes.
So
I
It's
know.
been
every
over
30
30
minutes,
No
minutes. You
long
skip
boy
last
one.
screamings
one.
for you. No long
Yeah,
boy screaming.
I'm dancing like this right now and on my legs.
I'm jealous of you. I noticed you have a standing desk, and I miss my standing desk so much because I
Yeah.
usually at home I have a standing. I hate sitting at these tiny little tables. I'm too tall for tables. I'm TTT, too tall for tables. All right, shots, 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 shots. All right, thank you so much,
Thank
Vegan
you.
Power Lab, everybody. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Vegan Power Lab, Mr. Chip.
Well, he's awesome. He answered the 10 great questions greatly.
He's
Wonderful.
amazing. And
Yeah.
everybody, please, if you want to join us next week, we are gonna keep continuing doing these questions.
Random stupid
We want to know
questions.
you. You don't have to come and prepare anything. You just can come here and have fun. And if you don't want to be interviewed after the 10 questions, you just want to do the 10 questions and then just go home, that's totally fine. Like, we're happy to have
Yeah.
you on the show. We want to
So
have you.
I want to tell you two things before we go. I'm in Lakeland, and Lakeland, Florida has lakes in it. Surprisingly, we have
Hmm.
lakes in Lakeland, and I was driving around the lakes with my chicken truck, blasting the chicken noises. First, I drove around downtown, and then I blasted the chicken noises around the lakes. I just drove around the lakes doing that. And of course, there's lots of people enjoying the lakes. There's people outside, and they're all like looking at and there's little restaurants by the lakes and all that. But they have in Florida these birds that are like they're massive birds. Like there's first of all they have swans that are like as big as you are, and then they have these big stork-looking creatures. They look like and they're just walking up to people. They don't have any fear from
They're
humans
not afraid.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so like there's hundreds of them, and I'm playing, and I can see people feeding the birds and just being around them. They're having picnics or whatever, and the birds are just like chilling out like birds do. The birds are just hanging out, and I'm like playing the sound of the chickens, and the birds would look like what the fuck, and all the people are looking too, and it was such a weird thing because here we are saying that some of these birds, no one would ever think of killing any of these birds that are here being enjoyed at the public parks.
It's like the squirrels in America.
Yes, you
People
wouldn't
don't
kill a
think about
squirrel.
killing them. They're just
Yeah.
part of the world.
Raccoons,
It's
or
just
yeah, yeah. No one thinks about killing a raccoon, but it's weird to me that chickens. People think that chickens are we should be killing them and eating them, but yet birds. No one wants to kill a bird. Birds are wonderful. Birds are so great. Everyone
No,
loves
some people
birds.
want to kill birds. Some people are jerks.
Some people shoot ducks, I guess, and shoot birds. Yeah, I guess you're right. But those are wildlife criminals, I guess. It's weird that the people those are fetishists, but like normal people hanging out at the park with these beautiful birds will a lot of times I saw them eating their picnics and stuff. How many of them were eating chickens while hanging out with other birds? They go, let's go to the park and look at the birds and eat chicken, eat
It's like
bird.
they're petting their dogs and then they're feeding their dog another animal.
Oh my god, that whole thing. Yeah,
Really
petting a dog and then eating cow. And the other thing I just wanted to say, I was listening to a podcast. It's called 99% Invisible. It's one of my favorite podcasts. 99pi.org. That's how he talks. Roman Mars. This is Roman Mars, beautiful uptown Oakland, California. His voice is I want to die and come back as
I was
Roman
gonna
martyr.
say, you sound like you love, like you're in love. You have
His voice is
some
very.
tingling in your pants when you're listening to his voice.
I think if I'm jealous more than I don't have tingling in my pants more than just jealousy. Um, but they were saying that cheese, right? They're talking about cheese and cheese theft. Cheese is the most stolen food in the world, and
Stone.
that millions of dollars of cheese just from Parmesan because they have like wheels of cheese that are $1,000,
Mm,
and people will steal trucks of wheels of Parmesan. That's easy to transport. It lasts a long time, and no one and just thousands and millions of dollars a year are stolen.
it's
Just
rotten already. Can't go worse than that.
yeah, it's a weird thing though, and it reminded me. Of course, I think of it from the vegan perspective. How many people always talk about cheese, and I'm like, wow, there's this underground criminal empire that is cheese that
Yeah, I mean,
people.
anything that has value, you can, it's like,
But do you see what I'm saying? It's like we used violence to make the cheese,
yeah,
and now violence is occurring
because
around the sale of cheese.
yeah, I do believe that people who eat animals have like more, we if we talk about energy, there is a bunch of tribes that think, "Oh, I have to eat the brain of the people I've killed because it's going to
Mm,
give me their power,
what
their
about their heart and
energy."
eat
They're
it?
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like stuff like that. And I do believe that when we eat animals, we eat violence. There's something, if people believe in like energy or whatever, this has violence in them. That's why some cultures and religions want to kill animals in the least violent way so they get less violence in themselves. Like
Hmm.
there is something like that, right? Which is like, if you want to kill in the less violent, just don't kill.
Yeah, it's so easy.
I was like, yeah, yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
like any religion. I mean, this is why religion is poison. This is like it's all mumbo jumbo. Like, oh, we're gonna we want to kill the animal really peacefully so that I'm peaceful when I eat the animal. It's so ridiculous. It's just everything about religion is ridiculous. So it just shouldn't be surprising. Anyway, that's all I wanted to bring up was the fact
Guys,
that cheese
again,
people but okay, so the fact that cheese begotten by violence, sold with violence, stolen criminally, the criminality surrounding it, violence, and every time you talk with somebody about cheese, they talk about their addiction to cheese. And so to me it's like this sounds a lot like cocaine.
it is. It is.
Like it.
Well, cheese has casein, and casein, when it goes in your body, it transforms into something that gives you like dopamine
Yeah, something like that.
things.
Yeah.
So you feel very relaxed and happy. That's why babies go to their mother and want to breastfeed. It's because it relaxes them and appeases them. It's a okay, so morphine, yeah, it's like something that's like calming you down. And
Hmm.
because we live in a society that's more and more stress prone and all of that, we are addicted to something that's going to release the stress. Yeah.
I guess that's what it is. Yes, maybe that casomorphine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah.
but the fact that it's the most stolen food item in the world, it just hit kind of like one of those things that you hear, you're like, what the fuck?
It is crazy.
Oh, and it makes so much sense because it's just being bought and sold like a drug. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think about that.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We hope that you'll join us next time on Vegan Sunday School. Fannulous can be found at all of the Fannulous. You can find her on Instagram. You can find her on YouTube. You can find her everywhere where good vegans are found.
Yes, everywhere.
Everywhere fine vegans are found. You can find.
Yes. And if you have questions about veganism, you can answer in my stories, you can comment, you can email me at fannulous@gmail.com. Yeah, I'm always open, even if you're not vegan. And no, it's a channel only for vegans, but if you're not vegans or you have
Fannulous is not. It's a
Fannulous is not. Fannulous is open to non-vegans who are interested and want to know more and are curious and yeah,
yeah.
because
Everyone.
we all at some point were not vegan, right?
That's true. We
So
were all at some point little Hitlers. Well,
thank you, Brandon. Thank you for participating. Thank you, everybody in the comments. It's so nice for us to have such an active community in the comments, to have people coming on the show, playing with us. Like, thank you so much because we want to do a great show for you. But honestly, you're 50% at least part of the show. So if you're
mhm,
not there, what are we doing? Right. So thank you so much
exactly.
for being here and for commenting and responding. And it's so fun to have you. We love you all.
Indeed. Well, Fannulous, I think I'll play the shortened. Well, let me just say one more thing. Thank you to the raid on Twitch. We still have a few people watching on Twitch. And if you are a Twitch watcher, please head on over to veganofcourse.youtube, youtube.veganofcourse.com. Go find us on YouTube and just hit that subscribe button. I know it's a lot of work, but it helps out the channel a lot. And I would greatly appreciate that. I see someone's watching on X. Thank you for watching on X. And I've never seen someone on X make a comment, though I hear that there's a new function for that. So one of these days we'll get someone to comment on X and we'll be able to see that. But in the meantime, Kirsten Marilyn played our amazing theme
Yeah.
song, and she has albums out. Her link is in almost every video. There's a link in almost every video on my channel on YouTube, on Vegan of Course YouTube. But Kirsten Marilyn, she's on YouTube and fucking Instagram and TikTok and all that shit. But she's great. She's amazing.
She's
That's it.
amazing. And she's funny.
And she's funny. Yes. Oh yeah. And goddamn vegan SOBs. She also does that.
Yes.
I was pushing her music. Forgot about pushing her comedy. But she's a tour de what do you call it?
She's
An
a
artiste.
whole one man band. Like, no, one
She's a
person
multi-talent.
artist.
She's a
Hyphenate.
she's a polymath, a hyphenate,
Multi-hyphenate.
a renaissance woman.
Sometimes I'm amazed by all the English words I know.
You do know some, and I'm glad, or else because my
Otherwise,
French is very bad.
pretty boring show.
Fromage, fromage, mais oui, fromage,
Fromage, fromage, fromage.
fromage.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Love you.
Ooh, vegan Sunday school.
I knew it. I see. Look, someone can go on X and comment. Look, it works now.
Woo!
This channel's just for
Please, Sky, let Kirsten sing.
I
Please.
like singing with it.
This
Please.
channel's just for vegans.
For us.
Bye bye, Marcettes. Bye, everybody. Thank you, everybody. You're the
We love
best.
you.